I'm going to read out a quote from the boxingscene.com website. I'm the heavyweight who is going to take over this division because I have everything that is needed. Wladamir has had a good run, but it's time for change because the heavyweight division needs an injection of new blood, and I'm ready to provide that, Fury told the Daily Mail. I'm mandatory for the WBO title, and if Wladamir does defend it against me, he won't last more than 8 rounds, because I'll be knocking him out after being involved in a bit of a brawl early on. I know his flaws, and I know how to beat him. For once, he'll be picking on someone his own size. A fight with Wladamir doesn't concern me, because I know I'll beat him. It's just a matter of time how and what round I do the job in. I'm still not fully convinced he has the balls to step in the ring with me, but if he does, then I'll take my hat off to him, because it will be the night the Klitschko era ends and the Tyson Fury one begins. Fury clearly not impressed by Klitschko versus Jennings. Now, I'm a huge Tyson Fury fan. Regular subscribers know that I think he is the man to beat Wladimir Klitschko. Let me start by saying Tyson Fury is a guy who talks up his fights. He is a guy who gives the impression that he's going for the knockout. Gives the impression that he's this big hooligan who goes in there for a scrap, goes in there for a brawl, goes in there to knock people out. For me, that's not the case. Yeah, if you look at the talk that he gave before the Chisora fight, the Hamer fight, the Kevin Johnson fight, realistically, the days of Tyson Fury going in there, getting involved in an all-out brawl, knocking someone down, getting knocked down are finished. At the elite level, at the top 10 heavyweight level, Tyson Fury isn't a world-class puncher. He doesn't carry the knockout power of Wladimir Klitschko, of David Haye, of Deontay Wilder. He doesn't punch in the same league of those guys in terms of one-punch knockout power. However, he's got certain attributes that I think are world-class. His size, the fact he can fight orthodox and southpaw, his body punching, his combination punching, his punch variety, his inside game for such a large man, his double jab from range. You know, there's a huge amount of world-class attributes to Tyson Fury. And I do think that in terms of a scrap on the inside, Fury has the inside game, Fury has the body punching, and Fury has the combination punching to do damage to Wladimir Klitschko and score points against him. However, it's not what I'd recommend Fury to do in that fight. You know, for me, let's not forget here, Wladimir Klitschko, people make a big deal about how bad his chin is. And it's true, yes, he has been knocked out in the past. But Wladimir Klitschko doesn't have a terrible chin. You know, we've seen him take punches from David Haye, from Bryant Jennings. You know, he's been in there with other big names, Povetkin, Pulev. This is not a guy you can just walk over and knock out. That's a common misconception. You know, Wladimir Klitschko doesn't have a world-class chin, no, but he doesn't have a bad chin either. And a guy like Tyson Fury, you know, I don't see him stopping Wladimir Klitschko. I see that as unlikely. I think Fury, as I say, talks these games, but against Chisora, against Hamer, we see a disciplined performance, fighting from range, fighting at distance, fighting using a jab. And I expect that this quote in the Daily Mail about him stopping Klitschko, about him needing to work out what round he's going to knock Klitschko out, is once again talking up a fight and bravado, and won't necessarily reflect what Fury will actually attempt to do in the night. All I would say is, for me, Wladimir is clearly a fighter who needs space, needs distance, needs range, needs to operate behind a jab, needs to set his feet. And that's where I think Fury can cause him real problems. Real problems. Because I think with Fury having bigger range than Wladimir, with him having a bigger frame than Wladimir, and arguably with him having better movement than Wladimir, I think there's scope for him to move around Wladimir, out-jabbing Wladimir, staying out of range of the Klitschko jab, trying to pepper Klitschko from long distance, trying to catch him with the double jab, maybe throw combinations off it. And I think Fury's additional range and Fury's additional momentum can put Vlad off his stride. I think it will prevent Vlad from setting his feet and throwing combinations, just like we saw against Bryant Jennings. Now don't get me wrong, Fury isn't as athletic, he isn't as good a mover as Bryant Jennings, but I'm thinking that the combination of Fury's movement with the size dynamic and with the larger frame and size could have a similar effect. I think the difference is that Fury has a much broader set of offensive tools than Bryant Jennings. I feel Fury's punch variety is more. Even though Fury isn't a massive puncher, I feel he's got more power than Bryant Jennings. And I think Fury will have more effect punching to Klitschko's head than Jennings, who predominantly launched a sort of body attack. So that's why I think Fury will be effective. I think he can unsettle Vlad from the outside, from range, from distance. He can prevent Vlad from just launching the long 1-2. But then I think if he does get into a scrap with Vlad, he's got the inside game tools. He's got the combination punching on the inside. He's got the little short uppercut, the little hook to the body that could cause Vlad problems. So I would side with Fury in that fight, certainly. But interesting that Tyson's not impressed. I, for one, hope this fight happens next. For me, I want to see these two guys square off. The Deontay Wilder fight with either man is interesting, but this is the fight I really, really want to see, being frank. I'm not buying into Fury, saying he's going to go out there and steamroll Vlad. I don't think Fury's a massive puncher. I don't think Vlad's chin is actually that bad. And I think Vlad is quite a decent defensive operator with his leaning, his clinching, his, we even saw him do a little bit of a shoulder roll against Bryant Jennings. He's not a terrible defensive fighter and he's not easy to hit. Klitschko can move as well. So I see this one going to points if Fury wins. And, if anyone's going to knock someone out, it's Wladamir Klitschko. Klitschko's the real puncher in there. So I'm ignoring what Fury's saying. This is typical Fury building a fight. We see him build fights like this regularly, and yet it goes down to boxing discipline on the night. That's my thoughts. Let me know what you think about this. Fury's not impressed. How do you see Fury Klitschko going?